everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Amanda and we are making a spaghetti squash with noodles along the side for picky eaters. Now the noodles I use are the dinosaur pasta ones, easy, simple, whatever. That's what my 3-year-old picked out and she sometimes eats. I also use a tomato sauce and a turkey roll. Most everybody knows how to cook pasta. It's very basic. You boil your water, you dump in your pasta, and you salt your water. And I just cook the pasta to package directions. Now while that was cooking and the water started boiling, I heated up my spaghetti squash in the Instapot. I pre-cooked it for about 5 minutes and let it naturally release. That way it would not be so hard to cut open and dig out the seeds. But I must warn you, it is very hot when you do it this way. And you don't have to do it this way. In the past I have done it just cutting it, scooping the seeds out, and putting it in the oven. Here you can see I'm cutting it open. It does make it easier to cut open, but this one was it is very hot. You can let it cool down, and it would be a little bit easier to handle, but I just did not have the time that evening because it was getting kind of late. Here you can see I'm scooping out the seeds in the middle of the spaghetti squash. I do use just a large spoon to do that with, a tablespoon I believe, and you just want to scoop all the seeds out. What was not shown was me rubbing the spaghetti squash down with olive oil, just classic olive oil, and then we do salt and pepper on the spaghetti squash along with my secret ingredient that I got off of Rachel Ray, and it's chili powder. Just lightly dust that, and then you will turn it face down on a tin-foil sheet pan, and I believe I stuck it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, just till it gets a little golden brown on top. Now if you're doing it not pre-cooking it, you'll just cut it open, scoop out the seeds, do the same seasonings, turn it face down, and cook it for roughly an hour. For with the pasta, I like to season it again before I add it to any sauce. I will melt about about a fourth of a cup of butter, and then I'll add my pasta back in, and then I'll pour about a fourth of a cup of Parmesan cheese and mix it really well. And this helps the sauce stick to the pasta better, and it also gives the pasta just an extra added layer of flavor, which I also got from Rachel Ray. Meanwhile, I have a pound of ground turkey starting in my Instapot on simmer. And I just did that because it was already out and it was already warm, so it would have been quicker to brown up my meat. And all I will have that chopper linked down below. It's amazing for grinding up meats in a pot. I do always add salt and pepper to my cooked meat. And this one I'm adding also ground Italian seasoning, and as well a little bit of minced garlic in a little bit. And we do like a lot of spices on our meat just for the extra flavor, since I did not pre-season my tomato sauce. And there you see the minced garlic. And we're just going to mix that around, get it good and incorporated, and let it cook out for a couple of minutes. After it's cooked for a couple of minutes, I'm going to add just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just for that extra little something in my dish. It is a seasoning that I always have on hand, so I do try to use it in several different dishes. And here you see that I've drained my meat and added a little bit, and added most of the jar of the tomato sauce. And it is a jarred tomato sauce, so that is why I season my meat as well as add the tomato sauce that's already seasoned. And we're going to let that simmer for roughly 10-15 minutes until the spaghetti squash is done cooking in the oven. The longer you simmer, the richer the flavor will be. And I believe I simmered for roughly 20 minutes. And then once you simmer it, as long as you think you need to, turn the saute feature off and it automatically goes to warm, which is fine. It can warm and it'll stay hot in the Instapot, which is why I like cooking in it. But this can also be done on the stove top, just adjusting the temperatures as needed. Then we move on, and you see the slight brownness of the top of the spaghetti squash, and that's when you know it's done and ready to peel away from the sides. This is my preferred method to cook it, is in the oven, just because it gets a little something extra. And it will be hot when you pull it out. Just FYI. But all you do is grab a fork and pull the noodles away from the sides and get as much as you can. Now these do produce a lot of noodles, as you can see. is starting to come together to be quite a bit. And usually about 1/2 is a serving size. So here I have 2 halves for my dinner. To be me and my husband eating this. Because my kids do not really like spaghetti squash, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually. I do try to offer these foods to my children. And here is the finished dinner. I have the spaghetti squash with the meat sauce and a little bit of Parmesan sprinkled on top, along with a piece of garlic toast made by Box Directions. If you make this meal, tag me on Instagram, and my Instagram is always linked down in the description box. I hope you enjoy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I know to do more cook with me's, and subscribe to see all of my cook with me's and grocery shopping hauls. Hope you enjoy. Bye guys.